how are you doing today? It's G here with Golden Thread Tarot. So I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I've had a great day today. I hope you guys are doing the same. It might be a few days before, but still. Whatever day this finds you, I hope that's doing the same. So, okay. There's a tower moment. Great saying, pull that. Yeah, something is not coming to an end here, so, something hasn't come to an end in the past. And Spirit is saying that it is coming to an end. Yeah, so that some movement can happen here. All right, so that some movement, something. Either somebody has been, you've been in a situation where somebody has been denying you something, or you feel like the universe has been denying you something with that Four of Cups in reverse. But Spirit is saying, like, it's okay, right? You are attracting this. You're in Empress mode, in feminine energy right now, attracting this into you, right? Attracting this tower into you. So let's find out some more. Let's use the intuitive images. Roots. Interesting. Doing something to set up a lot of like roots. Stay grounded. I think that's what Spirit is saying. Stay grounded through this. Do as much as you can. Stay out. Get out in nature. Yeah. Don't be too close. Don't consider yourself so close to the matter that that you can't see the big picture, right? The bark. Yeah. So there is something here that might make you feel like you are concentrating on all of the kind of like bad that's happening, right? The kind of dark. I don't want to say bad. Dark. Spirit's wanting you to like rephrase it in your mind. Like, it might be one of those situations where at first you're like, oh, why is this happening? But then you're like, oh, like, if you just allow, you will see that it's really happening for you. Spirit's asking you to take a leap of faith. Right? See how this car is like all fogged and you can't exactly see where you're going on the window right there? Right? But see how here, this is, well, I was there. I was the one that took this picture, so I know the sun. I took this really, really early in the morning when the sun was like rising up and the sun was rising on the side of the car. And you could see like the sun starting to reflect in the car. And it was all so foggy, like you couldn't quite see where it's going. So they're asking you, it might seem dark, right? Like I said, the path might seem dark. It might seem like, what am I doing? Where am I going? Ugh, like, where are you leading me? But Spirit is asking you, and they're asking you to see this tower for the good, right? For the good that it's going to cause you, or the good that it's going to happen, right? Because the tower moment appears in our life so that we can set up a new foundation, right? The tower moment appears in our life so that we can set up a brand new foundation. Yes, okay. So this is the, right here. So, right, see how the path is going right here, and there's like here, we're kind of focused on the distraction of it, the kind of getting sidetracked or a side quest, right? This is starting to be my side quest card. I designed this deck so that it was just images, so that obviously you could interpret the image and interpret the image and whatever it means for you, right? For me, it means something different, but I designed this deck to mean something different for every person that there is no writing on it, that there is no booklet that comes with it. So it's just kind of like, look at the image and see what you can draw on your own background and the own things that you've gone through, so that you could really interpret this image in a way that really suits to you, right? To me, I was there. I was the one. This is all my photography. I was the one that took these pictures, so I know what was happening in my mind, right? But I left it blank so that you guys could really just you know, oh, this reminds me of that time of this, or this reminds me of a place that I've seen before, or, you know, it's this or it's that from, you know, so that's the point of this, you know, intuitive images deck, is just you put whatever interpretation you really get out of it, right? So it really pushes you to really draw on your intuitive instincts, right? So it's a really good deck to really kind of sharpen those intuitive natures, because although I love tarot cards, right, they have a very certain message that goes along with that certain cards, right? You know, spirit can find interesting ways, you know, to interpret the cards. But I just wanted to, and that's the reason why I made this deck. But for me personally, so I'm still, you know, as it's coming up, I'm still allowing myself to interpret the deck. So just because I say that this deck has to be this, if you end up purchasing this deck, which I will have it up for purchase if you guys would be interested in that, right? You can get whatever you want to out of this. So I don't want you to think, oh, well, she says it means this, so it has to be that. It doesn't have to be, right? But see how it's just like a little side quest, like a little part over here, and it's like a little detail on the side, kind of side quest, side mission kind of energy. And also, it can also mean for me kind of like, don't get too distracted by, you know, this little part, right? Because the path still goes on, right? You've already come a certain distance, and the path keeps going, right? It's a little side quest, little side mission. It's just a little interlude, right? A little something to and kind of change it up, and then you'll get back on the path, right? But they're asking you to go forward and move forward in this, not being able to see exactly where you're going. And it's okay. That's what spirit says you're not supposed to be. Okay. With our murder hair, okay. Maiden hair fern right here. Is that how you feel? Did you guys hear my dog? But this is giving me like kind of like starting anew. Like, because for me, like, I hear the maiden hair fern, and for some reason it made me think virginal. So it's like brand new, starting anew. Being, you know, I'm not necessarily going to say untouched, but you guys know what I mean, right? It's like, it's something brand new, something that you don't have that much experience doing, right? But you're figuring it out. It might be going down a new path, or starting a new career, or meeting new people, or, you know, deciding that, okay, I need to do this in a different way than I've done it in the past, right? That's why this tower moment is happening, so that it can shake up the way things have been in the past. Yes. So that we can have this clearance coming in, right? I'm also hearing you're almost there. It's right here. The bank of where I took this shot, the bank is just on the outside of this shot right here. So it's like you're almost there, like you're almost through it, almost to the other side. You're seeing the shadows of the trees and stuff, the reflections on the water. You're almost there is what I'm getting with that card. You're almost there. Look at that on the back. The sunflower with happiness. We got our rocks. So this is the same path, right? Just very close. I'm also hearing foundation. The rocks remind me of foundation, which again, tower, setting up a brand new foundation. I just heard glimmers of hope, okay? Glimmers of hope, glimmers of change. Oh. So here we have the church. And this card always reminded me of the Five of Pentacles, right? That kind of closed out, but it came out. So it's like things are changing around. You're not feeling so much like you're doing this alone. Like spirit is like, you might feel like you're doing it alone, but no, right? That's why we're here coming through, delivering these messages. You might feel like you're going it alone, but spirit is saying you're not. Like the very fact that you're going through this is spirit showing you that we're in your life, because what's on the other side of this tower is going to be even better, right? Even better. Because whatever this is, it will be rebuilt, right? The tower in the upright is a sign that whatever foundation is crumbling, will be rebuilt, right? The Tower in the reverse is like, oh no, this has got to crumble down. You've got to completely release this and let go of it. But Spirit is telling you that it will be rebuilt. And I was having a conversation with Spirit earlier, and I was talking to them about making sure, or me and my spirit guides were talking, and they were talking to me about changing my mindset. And they were saying, see, that I'm trying to kind of reprogram my mind to be less problem oriented and being more solution oriented. Like, it's important that you can see that there is a problem, because the problem tells you that you want something different. So it's important, but it's important not to focus and linger on the problem, that to identify it and move it. And Spirit said, if it helps you, change the vocabulary that you use for that, right? See that things that once seemed like a problem are just an opportunity to show you that things could be working better, right? This is happening because it's because Spirit is telling you there's an even better option, or there's an even better person, or there's an even better way to figure this out. This has come up because there is an even better solution to whatever happening, even if the situation is working, right? When something comes up, see it as the universe telling you, oh my gosh, right? We know this might be working, or maybe this isn't working at all. But guess what? We have a solution. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come up, right? You would have just kept going where you were. But because this came up, it's a way that Spirit is letting you know there is a solution to this. Like, there is an even better way to handle this. There is an even, there is a, this could be happening more efficiently, or this could be happening. You could be getting more money than you are right now, or you could be getting more experience than you are right now. This situation has come up because there is an even better solution out there for you, right? Mm-hmm. See how you're just tipping your toes? See how this? Just barely, the branch is like barely dipping down in there. Tipping your toes. This is just the beginning, right? You are leaving behind this feeling. Don't feel like you're being left behind, because you're not. Spirit says you're not being left behind. That's why this has come up. A lot of people. Okay, Spirit said never mind. Okay. Yeah, but you're tipping your toes in. Spirit said 2 more. Okay. There's a little bit of confusion. But it's in the reverse, right? And being in the thick of it, right? That's kind of what this card is reminding me of. Being in the thick of it. See how you can tell behind all these trees that there's a really beautiful vista of the sun setting, but you can't really see it because of all these trees. So it's in the thick of it, but it's coming out in reverse. So Spirit is saying, step back and look at the bigger picture, because it might be hard when you're so close to it to see from a divine perspective. And Spirit saying, we don't, you're not supposed to see it from a divine perspective. You can't quite view everything that we can view, but have that trust and that faith, and understand that we can, right? So your spirit guides, they can see what's coming. They can see what's happening. They can see all the moving parts and how they're lining up, right? So you might not be able to see it, but they can. So just have faith and have trust. And Spirit is saying, if you back up enough, you will be able to see at least some of it, right? You might not be able to see all of it. You might be able to see just a little bit where you can tip your toes in, right? There might be something that's coming so that you can see enough that you can tip your toes in, and you can be like, oh, so I'm not driving completely blind, right? I can kind of see what's happening. I can kind of see through the confusion, or through, it's not something quite as like confusion, but it is something like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I love this. Oh my gosh. So this is my growth card. It's my Empress card in this deck. It's my lush card. Look at that. Hey, what you doing? Oh, goodness. So that came out, but it did come. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to get down, baby. Right? It did come out a little bit in reverse for you, though. There's something here that Spirit's saying you're not growing. It's a little too bare. Something here is a little too bare. Maybe they're telling you the situation that you're dealing with. It's not, the people that you're dealing with or the situation that you're keeping you stuck in right now. There's something better, right? It's not working, right? And Spirit is saying that it's not because you're not worthy. It's not because you're not working hard enough. It's not working because there's something better. And Spirit is trying to show you that it's not working as well as it could because there is something better. There is a better solution out there, right? Things are a little too bare here for you, right? It's a little too barren when it should be lush. It should be growth. There shouldn't be any, right? This is how it should be. But it's not quite there. It's on the back of the deck. Yep. Just look at the situation from a little bit different. Now, I did do this picture like blurry like this on purpose because it reminds me of a situation like this where you're kind of seeing and it's like you're squinting and you're kind of seeing. Focus, focus, look at the situation in a different way so that it comes into focus. Wow. Yeah. Because you're going to have growth in unexpected places. You're going to have growth in unexpected places. This tower moment right here might look like, oh my gosh, why at first, right? But, however, you are going to have growth in unexpected places, right? Look at the situation from a different way because the situation that you're in right now, you might, and you might not even be struggling, right? You might be like, I'm doing good, G. But Spirit is telling you, but it could get even better. You're like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm straight. Like, I'm doing, it's not that bad. But it could be even better, boo. Right? That's what Spirit's saying. But guess what? We love you. And we love you so much. We want you to be doing great all the time. Okay? Hello, Empress. Okay? Because what you're doing is not, there's some opportunity that you're not taking here, boo. Oh, look at that, right? Because Spirit's saying we have overflowing, endless possibilities in love. You just have to be strong enough to, and brave enough to go for it. All right, Chariot. To see it. You just have to allow yourself to see it, right? You're not getting what you deserve. Spirit's trying to tell you, like, whatever it is, right? And it doesn't have to be that bad. I'm not saying it's a terrible situation. Sometimes Spirit will tell us, this is not quite working as well as it could. Doesn't mean that you have to completely tear it all the way down and get rid of it. And, it doesn't mean that you have, but it could be better, right? We want you to be doing great, not just good. You don't have to settle, okay? There's also some, it's like you're working too hard. You're working too hard for not enough return. You're putting in so much more effort than you're getting. And whatever you're doing right now is not giving you the replenishment that you need. Right? There's a lot of obstacles. There is a reason that you have been facing. It's not working. It's just not working as well as it should. Stopping, starting. You're going to get there, right? But Spirit said it doesn't have to be this hard. And you don't even have, you could be saying it's really not that hard right now. But Spirit saying it could be even easier, boo. Okay? Maybe you're happy with the amount that you're making right now. But there is a decision. There's something you don't see, right? Your intuition is trying to tell you, but it could be even easier. It could be even better. There's a decision, okay? There's a decision that you have neglected to make. Tell me about, what is this decision? Can you give me a little bit more? Spirit said, okay. Spirit says, you know what it is. Something's got to come to an end. Death, transformation. There's a transformation that's happening here. It's happening. Spirit saying it's happening. Okay, Two of Cups. It could be in a relationship. It could be in a partnership. You know, and this could be a partnership as in like you and a business partner, you and a relationship partner. And right now you might be like, I'm happy in my relationship. Maybe there's something. Spirit is not saying, we're not telling you to completely end your relationship, right? If you are in a space where you are pretty happy with your relationship, Spirit's not telling you, oh, you need to break up with your partner right now. Don't know. But if you know that you are in a relationship that you are not happy with, partnership, friendship, business, okay, where you work, if you know that you're in this partnership and it is not an equal give and take, Spirit says, well, you know, right? For others of you, right, there is a decision that you're making that is stopping some type of transformation from happening, or the end of a cycle ending and the beginning of a new cycle that involves a new partnership coming into your life. Right? And this can be more than just love. It can be more than just love, but okay. Wow, if this is a relationship though, yeah. Too confused. You don't see it. And maybe that's the way Spirit wants it, right? Spirit saying, trust us. You want this. Trust us. You want this. We are trying our best to guide you. Okay? It's going to be a major transformation. It's going to be a major change. Things are not going to be the same after this happens. Okay? These are good cards, Joe. For some of you, you could be working on something or building something, and Spirit is saying, look, you're not getting the return that you should be. You're facing too many obstacles, okay? Maybe you're meeting you're having it hard. You're finding it hard meeting deadlines, or you're finding it hard making ends meet or something. Spirit is saying this is about to change, and you're about to enter some kind of partnership or some kind of new job, some kind of new situation here, okay? There is a really equal balance. Right? And it's coming. How many times has the Chariot card come out now? It's coming. Spirit saying, just trust us. Baby, just trust us, please. Just trust us. We love you. We are not setting you up for failure. We promise. They said, you think, and they're not assuming, but they're just like, honey, you think, you know, we are here with the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, and you think we're not here trying to make it better for you? We've been here through all the ups, through all the downs, through all the thicks, through all the thins. Okay, through all of. Some of my spirit guides are a little catty. They're like, we've been here through all the losers. We've been here standing beside you while you kissed frog after frog after frog. You think when I tell you just trust me, I'm leading you to where you need to go? That I'm not leading you to where you need to go? Spirit said, it's not for you to know. It's supposed to be a secret, right? That high priestess came out. It's supposed to be a secret. And I'm not going to tell you. Because it's part of your lesson. It's a big part of this lesson is just understanding the magic of it all, right? I'm just following my intuition, and my intuition is just leading me to win after win after win after win. And even things that seem like they're losses, they're really wins, because it's an opportunity to just improve my situation, right? Wherever I'm being guided to is an opportunity to improve my situation, right? Whoever I'm being guided to, whatever I'm being guided to, whatever I'm following, that want, that desire inside of myself, and it is leading me to where I need to be. Yeah, again, with this person walking away, going towards the mystery. Something about it's not as big a mystery as you think that it is. It's like kind of come on, you know. They're just being crafty. Your spirit guides are being tricky and being crafty. They're like, and not necessarily in a negative way. They're just like, we just gotta lead you here. They're showing me now like a situation. It's like a person putting a blindfold on somebody and they're like leading them somewhere so that they can like reveal and show them a surprise. Like, I have a surprise for you. Like, what is it? I'm not going to tell you. Just come on. Trust me. Follow my voice. Follow my voice. It's okay. You're like, what is the surprise? And then they're like, boom. Like, you're like, oh, you just got to trust. Queen of Swords. You just got to trust and have faith. Just got to follow your instincts. Have those proper boundaries. Chill out a little bit on that sword, having that sword up. Like, look at her. She's like, a surprise is no. I'm about to cut that blindfold off. Tell me where I'm going. And they're like, no, you should have to, not that. Tell me where I'm going. And Spirit's like, honey, that's not how it works. She's like, no, you gotta tell me where I'm going. I'm not following nobody who puts a blindfold on. You're not gonna put a blindfold on me. And Spirit's like, will you just work with us? And it's almost like a situation where Spirit is like, you don't even know. Like you're just doing your thing. Yeah. Okay. Just, hello. Just follow me. You know you want to come. Just follow me. Okay. I'm guiding you to where you need to go. Give up the fight. Surrender. You know, this is not about a competition. I'm not leading you to defeat, right? I'm not leading you to a place where, you know, I'm just trying to get you to walk away and surrender, you know, in that kind of way, right? Yeah, there's a sense of you're being too controlling about something. In reverse, you're being too controlling about something. Spirit's trying to bring you justice here. There's also a side note. There's another message in this that there's also somebody else outside of you that has this energy that justice is being brought to. That's just a little side message. You got so many options. Spirit's trying to lead you to the right choice. Oh, okay. Spirit is saying that for some of you, you might have lost a little bit of faith, okay? Because in this journey, and I kind of experienced this myself, so I know if you identify with this, you know, cool. If you don't, that's fine too, right? Leave it for somebody else. Sometimes on this journey, we get to a place where we're like, well, I trusted you before and you led me towards something that ended up hurting me, like towards a person. And Spirit saying, you know, we understand, right? We did not want to hurt you. We led you towards a person who would teach you the lessons that you needed to learn. It is really unfortunate that in learning those lessons, there was a part of you that was hurt. And Spirit saying they're not trying to invalidate your feelings, but deep down subconsciously, you might have had this kind of issue where you were like, kind of like doubting yourself or doubting your intuition because maybe perhaps it led you towards something that in the past might have hurt or might have been like, oh, you know, this is my intuition, but my intuition has been wrong before. And Spirit wants to say, didn't you learn from that situation? Didn't you learn what you didn't want in a person from that karmic? Didn't you learn to have, you know, to you know, didn't that person teach you lessons that you needed to learn? And now since you've been with that person or you've been in that situation, you've learned, like, I know that I don't want that. You've grown, you've evolved beyond it. And yes, sometimes it really does suck to think, well, damn, did you have to teach me, you know, in such a painful way? No. No, because spirit, because the truth of it is the spirit usually gives us a lot of choices to learn outside of painful ways. But it's when we refuse to learn the lesson is when situations turn painful, because we are turning them karmic, because they are lasting much longer than they really need to, right? It's taken us a while to learn the lesson. So spirit is saying they understand that there might be a part of you before that's like, but I thought it was this before, but I thought I've had this before, but it ended up hurting me, or it ended up causing me pain, or it ended up, you know, with me feeling some type of way about it. But spirit is saying, remember, they're saying, remember your training. Like, remember the lessons that you did learn, right? Remember the lessons that you did learn, and trust yourself. You need to learn to trust yourself and your intuition again, right? Because there might be a side of you that's scared because you're like, am I going to have to learn through getting hurt again? Wow. Oh, wow. Hmm. There's a stubbornness here. A stubbornness with this King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles is giving me like, in this situation, it's giving me like, things have always been this way. Things have always been this way, and I'm a little neglectful, or I'm a little hesitant of change. This is the way I've always viewed it. This is the way I've always thought about it. This is the way that it's always worked for me in the past. Like, I've made it work. But spirit is saying, they don't want you to just get by. They don't want you to survive. They don't want you to just make it work. They want you to be succeeding and healthy and beautiful, because these self-limiting beliefs that you have put on yourself might have kept you safe in an egotistical sense of the term, right? Like, they might have helped you survive. But there's a difference between surviving and actually living, right? And you've been so taught to just be happy with just surviving that a lot of you limit yourself in the way of, isn't this just good enough? Because for so long you had to tell yourself, at least I'm making it. At least, you know, and spirit is saying it doesn't have to be that way anymore, right? It doesn't have to be that way anymore. You don't have to be just making it. You don't have to be just okay. You can be great. You can be thriving. You can be even better than great, right? You can be fantastic. Reach for the stars is what I just heard, and that's so funny because here's a star card, right? This is something you need to heal, and it's a part of your healing that you have been neglecting, only in the sense of maybe you didn't realize it was something that you needed to heal, right? Maybe you didn't realize, because maybe you heard that, you know, you heard kind of like, oh yes, what we were talking about in a pick a card that I did not too long, I think it was like messages you need to hear. There was a pile in that deck, and you guys might have been in that pile where it was like survival mindset or poverty mindset, right? Where it's like poverty mindset, like, well, I'm making it, well, I'm surviving, well, I'm penny pinching, and that's fine, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, and this is always I made it, at least I'm making it, you know. And spirit is saying that that's something that that's your grand purpose that you have in this world. You need to let go of that, right? Because in the past it served you, because you were just making it in the situation that you were in, right? But spirit is saying that that mindset will not serve you in the future. It will only serve as a obstacle, right? And I'm noticing now how, because my lighting's not changing, but you guys see how the lighting is going from really like orange or yellow and then kind of coming back out to like a normal color, right? And my spirit guides do that in letting me know that there have been obstacles standing in your path, right? Because the color orange reminds me of Ganesh, right? The destroyer of obstacles, right? Right? You're going along and then an obstacle comes and you have to surmount it. And then you're going along and an obstacle comes and you have to surmount it. Instead of just being able to just and just go through there, right? It's stop and stop and stop and start and stop and start and stop and start, right? And Spirit is saying that this mindset that you have had through the past is what has been slowing you down, right? It's what has been slowing you down. Okay. Oh, no, there it goes. I was just about to say the colors have started. What else do you want me to say about it, Spirit? Woo! Okay, this is a big download. They're here, right? It's like I'm hearing fine-tooth comb. So Spirit is saying that now your energetic upgrades are getting to where they're not just filtering out through things that you need to work that are like the big major things, like, you know, it's not the things that, so, you know, you're working through those finer details of things that are holding you back. Like Spirit saying you've been working really hard on the big stuff, you know. You've been working really hard on your abandonment issues, or your issues with your family, or your issues with your friends, or your issues with your body, or with your self-worth, right? And you've been working through the major stuff, right? But now we're getting down to the fine details of kind of pulling those and untangling those last bits of those strings, those last things that are slowing you down, right? Because the Spirit is saying it's not like the really heavy stuff that you're still having to deal with now, right? You're getting down to the finer details of it. Yeah. So you're being given this really grand opportunity to make this work. Wow. Page of Cups. And the Page of Pentacles ended up again, right? It's the little stuff. It's the little details now. What was your spirit guides? They admire you so much. With this Page of Cups, they admire you so much. Like, wow. You're doing so much to receive your wish fulfillment, and they're so proud of you. They're so proud of all the work that you've been doing. They're so proud of all the accomplishments that you have been getting. And Spirit said to like get it to this place where you're like going through the fine details of this awakening, like beautiful. Right? Spirit's also saying there is some third-party outside interference, okay, as well. There might be friends or family member or other people outside of you who might still be really in this mindset that you're trying to heal from, right? They're in this, well, you know, it's okay, compromise yourself, right? And it's in little ways, right? Over time, we teach ourselves to compromise our beliefs, or to limit ourselves in ways. And we've been doing it for so long that we don't even realize that there are ways that we're actually limiting ourselves, right? When we tell ourselves, no, it's fine, you know, don't nix that out, because, you know, it's like those people that might tell you, well, don't have your standards too high because then you'll just end up alone. That kind of energy, right? Well, don't hold out for that job that's going to pay you what you deserve, because what job actually cares about its employees, right? And it's little things like that. You know, everybody just makes it from paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes you just have to be okay with not following your dreams and just make what you have right now work. And Spirit is saying that they understand why those people in your life might have that mindset, but the place where you're going does not have room for that mindset, right? You do not have room for that mindset because it is a limiting belief, right? And it is a third party interference that's standing in the way, right? And Spirit says, you know, at the end of the day, you can cut out and stop talking to all these people, but it's something that's inside of you as well. So the main thing that you need to do is cut it away from yourself. Start figuring out the little ways that you compromise yourself in those ways, right? When you make yourself small, even in the little ways, right? Because Spirit is just saying there's no room. There's no room for it, right? No. There's no room for it. It's like that. We'll just leave well enough alone. Or do you really need that? Like, you're doing fine right now. Do you really need to go for that? Do you really need to do that? Do you really want to do that? Well, your relationship is fine. Do you really want to sit down because they do that thing that kind of gets on your nerves? And like, I'm not saying make a big deal out of it, but do you really need to sit down and talk about it? Do I really need to express myself? Or can I just let it go? Right? The Lovers in reverse? Okay, I'm just saying. But for some of y'all, it is letting go of this. Because for some of y'all, it is a fear that there won't be somebody else. So it's like, my relationship's not that bad. Am I really going to find another person out there that's going to give me, like, the Spirit is saying, these little mindsets, this little mindset is what is sneaking your way outside of your true balance, outside of your true partnership, outside of the true things that really resonate with you and your heart and who you really are. And it's these little compromises, because it's the little things, it's the little ways that you compromise yourself every single day that add up, right? I watched this video that got randomly recommended to me the other day, and I can't even remember. I think her first name was like Amari or something like that. And she was this young girl, and she was making YouTube videos, and she made a YouTube video. I think it was entitled, it's like 2 years old now, but it was like, what is it? I chose to put my first. I chose to put myself first every day for a year, and this is what happened, right? And it was so inspirational. She's like this really young girl at the time. She was turning, she was like, I'm turning 19 in 2 days, and it was so cute. And she had some really, really good advice, right? She had some really good advice that was just about really, you know, the fact that you lose friends, that you gain confidence in yourself, that you learn there are these limiting beliefs that you put on yourself, right? And that you learn to really put that value on yourself. Like, I learned in the video, she was like, I learned how to say no. I learned how to stop doing that. And when I did that, when I started making those choices, when I started letting that go, right? Like, my life just started flowing, and I just started getting into it. And she didn't have she did talk about manifestations and affirmations and things in it a little bit. She wasn't really coming at it from such a spiritual mindset, but that's fine too, obviously, right? But that's basically what she was doing. She went through an awakening, and I was like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I don't even know you, but this is beautiful, right? And she talked about how in the video, one of the results of it is that she found her soulmate, you know. And I don't know at this time, but you know, they're still together or whatever, it doesn't matter. She was so ridiculously happy with her partner, right? And she was like, I've had a connection that I've never had, you know. And I'm not saying that, you know, it's guaranteed that, but we meet the people that we are supposed to meet. We meet those good friends in our life. We meet those life partners in our life. We meet those when we decide to stop compromising ourselves. 4414 down on the clock when I said that. When we stop, you know, when we only give to situations, you know, that are giving as much as we are. And some people might call us selfish for that, but there is a such thing as healthy selfishness, right? Especially so many of us, because we can be those empaths, right? Those people who we'll tell people yes and yes and yes and wear ourselves thin, right? Or we don't want to make a friend feel weird about their relationship or about something, some advice that they're giving us. So we sit there and take it into us and we sit there and listen to them, right? Or we want to be kind and respectful to our friends and our family members, and we don't want to say things like, like, okay, but I'm just not going to take your advice, right? When sometimes, and it's not always about just saying that to their face, right? Right? Yeah. Spirit saying it's not about creating conflict, right? But it's also about, sometimes we will create that because we don't want to create conflict with other people. We will create more conflict in ourselves, right? Well, I don't really want to do this, but I'll do it. That's create. I don't want to create conflict with somebody else, so I'll create conflict in myself. I don't want to make that other person feel left out, even though every time I hang around them, they drag down my energy. So instead of just being honest about how I feel, I'll take on that conflict inside of myself instead of creating it with somebody else. And it's like, so Spirit is saying you're not creating the conflict, right? You're just manifesting it inside of yourself instead of manifesting it in a relationship with somebody else. And Spirit is saying when you learn to have that healthy type of selfishness, you will learn that those people who are really there for you and really care for you and are really in that relationship to be back and forth, they will understand. Right? They're not going to fight you. They're not going to start blaming you. They're not going to do those things. They're going to be like, oh, when you say, I'm just really tired, I just can't do it today. I just can't do it today, boo. Like, I'll have to see you on a different day. Oh, okay. They might not be the happiest, but it's like, okay, well, yeah, I really wanted to go with you, but I'll find somebody else. If you're just not feeling it, cool. Right? And those people who don't act like that show you who are the people, right, that care more about themselves than they care about you, right? Because it will be those people who have these expectations on you, who will try to make you feel like you're being the selfish one for choosing yourself, right? And I'm not saying that you can't be there for your friends, and there's not some times when you're like, yeah, I'll do that for you, and then the time comes, you're like, oh, I really don't want to do that, but I did promise that I'll do it, right? It's about catching yourself in that moment before you agree to do it and saying, actually, I'm really busy this day. I'm so sorry. You're going to have to find somebody else to do it. So that way, that person, has the opportunity to go find somebody else to help them, right? And you also have the opportunity to reserve your energy for what you really need to do it, right? So don't try to avoid drama with somebody else and make that conflict and take that conflict into yourself, right? Because you'll wake up that day, you'll dread it, you'll be miserable, you'll go and do it even though you didn't want to do it, and now you're there and you're like, it's okay, but I would rather be doing something else, or I have so much else to do, or I'm having to give up, like I really need to be doing this, but I'm doing that instead, and I know that I need to be doing that, and the whole time I'm over here doing this because I did it for somebody else. Like I know that I'm getting backed up on my work, or there's something else that I need to be doing. That's not situation's not going to apply for everything, but we allow ourselves, right? Now look at all this chaos that you've created inside of yourself, all this anxiety, all this, oh, I'm behind. Oh, but I now I have to go do this and go do that. And I had to rearrange my whole schedule to do this, even though I really didn't want to do it. And you definitely could have found somebody else to help you do it, or you definitely could have been in a different situation. And I really didn't even want to go. In that video, she used the representation of somebody, of inviting somebody out to a party and being like, I really don't feel like going, right? That person can find somebody else to go, Why do you want to force somebody that doesn't want to go to a party to go to it? And now they're there either having to pretend that they're happy when they're not, or, or what's the difference between when you're like, come on, you've been working, come on, take the break, it's okay, right? And there's a difference between, I just really don't want to go. Like, I really, really honestly don't want to go. I really have other stuff that I need to do. But I said yes because I didn't want to hurt that person's feelings and create conflict. So I'll create conflict inside of myself. And Spirit is saying the conflict is still there, but sometimes it's more important to, you know, there is a different solution to this issue. There is a better solution to this issue. But you could just say no, and then that person will go find somebody else. They have plenty of time to go find somebody else to go to this party with, or go do whatever it is, or get the help that they need. And you also can get the things done that you need, right? Yeah. Look at this situation in a different way, right? Look at the situation in a different way to find a solution. Because this is, you know, this is where you're supposed to be. You are attracting these solutions. You are attracting these, excuse me, not issues, but you are attracting the solutions to you. So any kind of issues that you're having, you just have to trust and believe that and have faith in that. Yeah. Well, this is a lesson that you have to learn. And that's what Spirit is telling you. So if you've been listening to some of my readings, or you've been listening to other people's readings, and they've been telling you there's some lesson that you're not quite learning, or that you haven't quite got, this is it. I was Spirit saying, this is it. This is the lesson. Right? Because it's been happening for so long, right? It's been an energy that you have been in. And it could have even been, sorry, I'm not even showing the card, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, right? This could have been even issues and mindsets that were passed down to you by not only your family, but then reinforced by friends and other people around you, right? And it stops you from creating the type of long-term legacy that you actually really want, right? You know, and for some of you, you need to ask yourself, why do you want to cling to people who want to put you in situations where they would rather you deal with conflict than them deal with conflict, right? Actually surround yourself with people, you know, that want that, or surround yourself with people who think that about you. And I understand, I'm not, and please trust me and believe me, I'm not telling you to cut out your entire family and just go find a whole new friend group. I'm not exactly saying that, you know, but this is keeping you stuck. This is keeping you stagnant. This is the thing that's holding you back. This is the thing that's stopping the movement from happening in the direction that you really want. And at the end of the day, it's your own mindset. Which at the end of the day is great, because you have complete and utter control over that, right? It would have been way more of an actual issue if I had told you, oh, well, this is somebody else, right? This other person in your life is causing these issues, because you have no control over that, right? But if it's your own mindset, if it's your own self, you have complete and utter control over that. So this is an issue that 100% has a solution, and guess what? You are the one that's 100% in control of that solution. And that's amazing, because that means it's just about you setting your mind to doing it. Which I understand is easier said than done. That doesn't make it any less difficult or any less, you know, it takes time to change your mindset. It takes time to set up a habit, just like anything else, right? But Spirit is saying, see it as anything else. See it like changing your diet, or dropping a bad habit, you know, or, setting up a good habit, like a exercise or a spiritual routine, right? And Spirit is saying, look at all the ways that you've already succeeded in doing that, right? Spirit didn't like the way I put this deck back together. Okay. Look at the ways that you've already done it, right? Because if you're here, probably at some point in your life, you weren't as spiritually awake as you are right now. And you've had to put things into practice, right? You've started research, you've read books, you've searched out tarot readings. You probably started buying tarot decks, and you've learned how to read the cards, and you've learned how, you found this whole community out there, and you've made things work, and you've learned to do it before. You've learned to change your mindset before. You've learned to do this before, and you can do it again, right? And Spirit says it is just going to be about consistency, right? Oh, thank you, Spirit. Page of Swords. You've learned to do this before, boo. And you can do it again. You know, you just need to walk away from the conflict, right? Like, you really, and heal. This is just something that you need to heal. And for some of you, it is going to be about stopping looking at the glass half empty, right? Start seeing the glass as half full. Start, you know, a really good mantra, something that's really helped me. And it really, honestly, really does. It helps me a tremendous amount. It just helps my mindset be in a much happier and healthier place. And it's helped my anxiety a lot too. Is just, you know, everything is working out in my favor. Everything is working out for my highest good. Everything is working out for the highest and best good of all involved. You know, or if you just want to make it about you, that's fine too, right? Everything's working out for my highest good. And when I start to have those moments of anxiety, I remind myself everything is working out for my highest good. So since I know, since it is a fact that I'm stating that everything is working out for my highest good, there is a solution in this. I just need to find it. You know, everything's going to work out. And not in like a toxic positivity way, but in like a way where you're like, okay, because I know that everything, that this is happening for, you know, that there is a reason behind it. Let me find it. Let me strive for that. You know, for me, it's just a shifting in perspective. It's a shift from thinking about it as in, why is this happening? Oh, here's another problem. Oh, here's another obstacle. It's a shift from that kind of mindset over to, oh, wow. So this isn't working out. So there's something better. Well, let me search for that. What's the something better, Spirit? Let me look for signs. Let me look for clues. How can I streamline this? How can I improve myself? How can I improve this situation? This issue is coming up because there's something better. Instead of, oh, another issue that's coming up. Why? Oh, just why? Can't it just be easy? It is. It's just about your mindset, right? It's about, and it really is cheesy, it might sound, it is really so much about that can-do mindset, right? I can do it. I can figure this out, you know, because I've already figured it out. Sorry. Because I've already figured it out. I am already in a state where I have figured it out. And so, since I am headed towards that state, I know that there is a solution because everything is happening for my better good. So, let me find what it is. Right? And it took me a while to understand that shift in that mindset, because I was like, what do you mean? And it did take a while. And just like setting up, like I said before, like setting up any other habit, it's just the repetition. It's just setting up that better habit. It's just changing how, it's just rewiring and changing your psychology and changing how your brain thinks. That's all. All you're doing is rewiring the human mind. It's fine. It's fine. It's, you know, but it really is that. And you really can do it. You know, you've done it. You've been doing it. You know, you've working through your traumas, dropping your triggers, acknowledging your triggers, meditating, finding your way through confusion, getting out of karmic cycles, dropping bad habits. All of that has already been rewiring your brain to think a different way. Right? Dropping bad habits, establishing better ones. That's rewiring your brain. You know, and you do it constantly all the time without even thinking about it, right? Because you taught your, at one point you didn't have this bad habit and then you developed it. That was rewiring your brain, right? So now it's just about rewiring it back to something else, right? Yeah. So Spirit is saying that maybe for some of you, you know, it will really help to say it on those terms, right? To say it on those terms, maybe that will be terms that's easier for you to understand, or terms that's easier for you to process, right? In a way where you're like, okay, yeah, I can do this. Because you can. You can. And in fact, you already have, right? We are manifesting the reality where we have already figured it out. So Hold that in your mind. And like I said, I understand I'm on this process with you on a daily basis. I promise. I am learning how to do this. I am alongside of you guys, right? And as much as I am, not all of my readings, but as much of these readings where I sit down and I am explaining these to you, I'm literally going back and watching them and I'm being like, taking notes, like absolutely, right? Because I'm channeling right now. I'm channeling. So I'm learning along with you guys just as much as you guys are. So believe me, I am not telling you to do something that I'm not also going through the challenge of, right? Or that I haven't already gone through the challenge of. So, or I'm not going to be going through the challenge of, right? So, thank you guys again. Yeah, Spirit is saying right at the end, stay grounded, stay rooted, right? Know that everything is working out for your highest and best good. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me today. I really appreciate you guys so incredibly much. Thank you in advance to all of my subscribers, to everyone who watches my videos. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank you for anybody who feels guided to watch any of my other readings, or thank you to everyone and anyone who feels guided to tip or donate to the channel. The link for those are in the description box down below, as well as my email or contact information to contact me if you would like to get a personal tarot reading or spiritual guidance reading from me, okay? As well as any information on any of the decks that I use in this reading or any of my other readings, also in the description box down below. Just scroll all the way down to the bottom and it's down there for you, okay, my loves? Thank you again so very, very much for being here with me today, okay? I really hope this brought some love, light, and clarity into your life, my sweet. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!